Akua was married to Kwame, a kind man who loved her dearly. The two of them seemed to have everything: a strong home, respect in the community, and a love that many envied. But there was one thing missing: a child. Few years of marriage, whispers began to rise like smoke in the wind. At first, it was just rumors, questions about why they hadn't yet had a baby. But as time passed, those whispers turned into pointed stares and harsh words. Akua knew the truth, a secret she carried like a heavy stone in her heart. She couldn't have children, no matter how much she prayed, no matter how much she tried to hide her sorrow behind a false smile. Kwame's family started to grow impatient. His mother's words cut through Akua like sharp blades. "When will we hear the cry of a baby in this house?" she would ask, her voice laced with suspicion. "Why are you keeping us waiting?" It was only a matter of time before the entire village began to question her. Desperate, terrified of losing Kwame and her place in the community, Akua sought solace in the only person she could trust, her best friend Sewa. Sewa had always been the voice of reason, the one that Akua leaned on during the hardest times. But this was different. As they sat beneath the old baobab tree one evening, the sky dimming to dusk, Akua finally let it out. "Sewa, I can't have children," Akua whispered, her voice shaking. "Kwame doesn't know. No one knows. And now everybody is asking questions. His family, the village. I'm afraid Kwame will leave me. What do I do?" Sewa sat quietly for a moment, her face unreadable in the fading light. She knew that was not just a problem Akua could sweep under the rug. The village's eyes were sharp, and in a place like this, secrets never stayed buried for long. Finally, she turned to Akua with an idea. "What if I help you?" Sewa said, her tone cautious but firm. "I can have the baby for you. No one would ever know. I'll find a man, someone far away, and carry the child. I'll leave the village for a while, and when I return, the baby will be yours. You will pretend to be pregnant, and no one will ever question it." Akua stared at her in disbelief. It was a bold plan, but the thought of finally silencing the whispers, of holding a child in her arms, was too much to resist, and so they set the plan in motion. A few weeks later, Sewa slipped out of the village and found a man in a distant town, a stranger, someone who would never come looking for the child. The man was unaware of her intentions, and soon Sewa was pregnant. She stayed away from the village just as they had planned, with Akua playing her part, faking her pregnancy with a pillow beneath her dress. When people asked, she smiled, glowing with the happiness she hadn't felt in years. 9 months later, Sewa returned with a healthy baby boy. Akua named him Yaw, and when she brought him into her home, Kwame's joy was boundless. She believed the child was his, and Akua felt the weight of her secret lift, if only for a moment. The village celebrated, the whispers died down, and life seemed perfect once more. But as the years passed, the pressure returned. Kwame longed for another child, and his family began to nudge Akua again. "One child isn't enough," Kwame's mother said one day, her eyes narrowed. "It's time for another." Akua's heart sank. She couldn't ask Sewa to do it again. Her friend was now engaged to a man from a nearby village, but Akua was desperate, and desperation breeds dangerous decisions. This time, she devised a darker plan. She had heard about a poor couple living in a village 4 towns away. They were expecting a baby, but were struggling to survive. Their poverty made them vulnerable, and Akua knew she could exploit them. When the time came, she arranged for the baby girl to be stolen, just after birth, once again, Akua faked a pregnancy and after 9 months, introduced Naana to the village as her daughter. Once again, Kwame and the village rejoiced. Akua's lie was complete and her family seemed perfect. But the past has a way of catching up no matter how deep you bury it. Years passed and Yaw and Naana grew up together. The bond between them was undeniable, and as they grew older, that bond became something more than sibling affection. It was a love that no one could ignore. The village elders noticed, and the whispers began again, but this time they were darker, more ominous. "You cannot marry your own sister," the elders warned. "It is forbidden by our ancestors. The curse of such an act would destroy your family." But Yaw and Naana were blinded by love. They couldn't bear to be apart. They dismissed the warnings. The fear of curses and taboos didn't matter. In their hearts, they believed their love was stronger than any ancient law. One day, as Naana fetched water from the river, she met an old woman who had been watching her with curious eyes. "You have a birthmark on your chin, just like my daughter's child," the woman said, her voice trembling with emotion. "My granddaughter was stolen many years ago. Tell me, who are your parents?" Naana's heart pounded in her chest. The old woman's words felt like a cold hand gripping her throat. She hurried home, her mind racing, and told Yaw everything. The idea that she might not be Akua's daughter was too shocking to comprehend. At the same time, Yaw revealed something equally unsettling. Years ago, he had overheard a conversation between Akua and Sewa, a conversation that hinted Sewa was his real mother. They pieced the story together. The horrifying truth began to emerge. They confronted Sewa, and after hours of tearful questions, she confessed, yes, she had given birth to Yaw, but the man she had slept with to conceive him was a stranger from a different village, and Naana, she was the stolen child of the poor couple from that same village. But there was more, a twist so devastating to shock Yaw and Naana to their core. Sewa suddenly realized the man she had slept with to conceive Yaw was the same man Akua had stolen Naana from. The man was Naana's biological father too. Yaw and Naana, despite everything, were half siblings. The love they had shared, the dreams they had of being together was an abomination. The village was in uproar. When the full story came to light, the elders were furious, their wrath echoing the anger of the ancestors. Yaw and Naana's love had violated the deepest taboos, and there could be no forgiveness. Their punishment was swift and severe. They were banished from the village, but not together. The elders, fearing the strength of their bond, decreed that Yaw and Naana would be sent to opposite ends of the vast dangerous forest that bordered their land. The forest was dense, full of wild animals and treacherous paths. The elders knew that once Yaw and Naana entered that forest, they would never find each other again. Akua too faced a fate worse than she could have imagined. Her lies had destroyed lives. She had stolen a child, deceived her husband, and brought shame upon her family. The elders stripped her of her status, and Kwame, broken by the betrayal, left her to face her punishment alone. She was exiled from the village, left to wander the world with nothing but the crushing weight of her guilt. As for Yaw and Naana, no one ever saw them again. Some say they perished in the deep dark woods, lost forever in the shadows. Others whisper that they still roam the forest, searching for each other, cursed by their love and the lies that bound them. But in the village of Abenase, their story lives on, a reminder of the danger of secrets and the distraction that comes when the truth is buried too deep. Please take a moment to subscribe for more of this. Thank you so much.